teaching you how to do this lovely cut crease for hooded eyes. I actually saw this look on Instagram and I thought it would be really nice to recreate. It's one of the more difficult styles of a cut crease, but I'm here to walk you guys through it and give you some tips and tricks on how to do the perfect cut crease for hooded eyes. But before we get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe. So right now I'm just priming my base with my Black Up No Transfer concealer. This is a matte concealer. I would recommend for looks like this to use matte concealers or matte primers because you really want to make sure that none of your natural oils from your eyelids move any of the product. We're going to be doing a lot of layering and we don't want anything to move. So this part is optional, but next I went ahead and grabbed my Infallible Translucent Powder by L'Oreal and just set my base in place to make sure that it's extra smooth. So next you're just going to take that light brown shade and you're going to create a new crease. With hooded eyes, it's really important that we have our new crease above our natural crease so that we can actually see the full cut crease when our eyes are open. So some people can do one full eye for looks like this and then move on to the other and then be completely fine. But if you're a beginner, it's best to follow each step. So if you do something on one eye, make sure you do it on the other because this will really help a lot for you to evenly recreate the same look on both eyes. That's done, I'm going to be using my NYX pencil. I made sure that it was sharpened really well. You could use eyeshadow too, but I would say it's best to use a angled brush if you're going to do that. I'm a little nervous to do this, but hopefully we can achieve a really nice, precise cut crease, and if not, we're gonna have to clean it up with some concealer. So now that that's done, what I'm going to do is put some of the brown because on the look there is brown and black. So I'm gonna lay down the brown first just so we know how high we need to go with the black. Afterwards, we don't want it to be too high on the eye. Luckily with me, I have a lot of, even though my eyes are hooded, I have a lot of brow space to work with. So you just want to kind of place the brown down. Now my two cut creases are not completely symmetric, but when I go back in with the concealer, I'm going to try my best to correct as much as I can to make them look identical. So now that that's done, I'm gonna take very little black and kind of just blend it with the brown. We want to blend out this line a little bit. And with this look, it just takes a lot of blending and concentration, to be honest. Lift your eyes so you can really blend it really well. I would say once you want the shape to kind of stay there, but once that's out, get another brown, a dark brown, and kind of just blend that in. Just so that you can see the transitions. Now, the thing with this is that you want to be careful. You don't want to go too high up. We're gonna go back up with a concealer for the brows, just so that there's some more brow space. I'm gonna create some more brow space. But honestly guys, like, cut creases, even though you see all these talented girls doing cut creases, they like take a lot of precision, patience, and blending. So, you know, it's more than just a cut crease. It's very, very detailed and tedious. So like when you see these girls in IG, if you see them do a cut crease and it looks bomb, just know that they spent some time perfecting it. And you know, double tap. So now that that's done, I'm going to clean up everything with the concealer. I made sure that my concealer is matte because you don't want anything to smudge and move around. You want everything to set in place. So it's best to go like this, take very little. Take your time cleaning it up. Like, I'm telling you, a cut crease takes patience and it takes practice. Kudos to these people who are doing cut creases with colors like black. It's just too easy for you to mess it up. So I realized that it's a little bit of texture. So I'm just gonna take my powder and I'm gonna set it again because I don't think I'm gonna go back in with any more concealer. So I'm just kind of smoothing out the base again. Because I think this is about it for me as far as the concealer is concerned. That's why I think for a cut crease it's probably best to use like an eye base, because you just want to make sure that the texture is nice and smooth. You don't want to have issues of layering and product moving and shifting and stuff. So it's best to use a good base. I don't have one right now, which is why I'm using my concealer. But that is something else that will help your cut crease looks to be very, very easy to do. So now that this is done, I'm just gonna take a little bit more black and just kind of blend this harsh line up a little bit more. Just a little bit, but you have to be very careful because we just cleaned up, so you don't want to mess up anything. What I'm doing is just going in an upward motion to kind of define that line some more. Like I said, if you're gonna do a cut crease, I wouldn't suggest starting with a look like this. Maybe you should start with a look that has two of the same colors so you can get the placement down. So what I mean by that is doing a look that has maybe a light pink and a dark pink, or you know, colors that are easy to blend and easy to clean up. Now that that's done, I'm gonna blend this again, just so that it's nice and smooth. Now that it's done, it looked like she used a very light concealer to define it a little bit more. So I'm gonna use very little of this cream concealer. I would not recommend using a cream concealer. I kind of just, because cream concealers move a lot, but I kind of just want to use very little to clean it up some more, just to get a very crisp line. So next, I went ahead and grabbed my NYX eyeliner to start drawing the wing. I would say that the wing, now that we've made it this far, is another hurdle that we have to cross. A wing is very, very difficult to do because you want to make sure that it aligns with the end of your cut crease, the flare of your cut crease. You also want to just make sure that you are neatly doing a wing. So I would say stay away from products or winged liners that are super liquidy. This can make it easier for you to make a mistake or for it to smudge. I would say gel liners are probably better, especially a lot better than the one that I used. But just be very, very careful while doing this, and remember that if you make any mistakes, you can always use some concealer to clean it up. I'm going to take my angled brush before it dries and just kind of pull it out a little bit more so that the line is very crisp. You have to be very careful when doing liquid eyeliner because you've come so far and you really just don't want to mess it all up. So take your time with it, don't rush it. So now that the eyes are basically done, I'm just going to take the time to fill in my brows. And I'm going to add the lashes last. But for this type of look, it's best to do a dramatic brow with a dramatic eye. I think to go from this really over the top eye and then have this really subtle brow, it doesn't really match the look. So I think it would be best to I'm going to extend my brow a little bit and fill in the blanks. Now that I filled in the brows, I'm just going to add a little bit of black liner on my waterline. So I wasn't able to get this because my camera stopped recording, but now I'm just going to be color correcting any dark circles, any dark areas of the face, and then I'm gonna put on my foundation. I'll be right back so we can finish off the look. That I put on my foundation, I'm just going to clean up the eye a little bit. I think I want to make this wing a little bit thicker, a little more intense. So now I'm going to use these dramatic eyelashes. I'm going to use my Envy lashes to complete the look. And I really hope that these look nice on the look because the look is already dramatic in itself. But because we've created a wider crease, we want something that's actually going to flare up. So I'm just going to apply these. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope if you have hooded eyes like me, this was easy to follow so you can get a cut crease and slay like all those baddies you see on Instagram. Just remember that it is a lot easier to start off your first cut crease with lighter colors. I think that black is very harsh and difficult to correct. Another thing that you have to pay attention to is the symmetry. That can be a bit of a challenge when you start off as well. But you know, I hope this tutorial was helpful to you guys, and I hope you guys also love this look. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you don't mind, check out some of my other videos. Love you guys. See you next time.